Welcome back, everybody, to another Two Tamers talk. As promised, he's back.
Yes, sir.
The man, the myth, the legend.
That's right. They're not done with me yet.
Not yet. No, never going to be done with you, sir. Jeff's back, I think, next week. So hopefully, we'll see.
And then depending on how flights from Asia go, right?
Yeah. So expect to see more switch ups. I mean, it's not always going to be just me and Jeff or just me and you. We'll get everybody in a rotation pretty soon. It'll be fun. I love the different perspectives, different takes on the game, because we all play different styles for sure.
True.
And it's really good to get kind of the amalgamation of everybody together to do that. But yeah, thanks for joining us again. And how are you doing, man?
Good. We're moving right through BT13. RB1, I saw actually a proxy tournament for RB1 in some Discords. So they're already kind of...
There's actually people that excited about
people excited about, I think... Probably only Gamamon, right?
Okay. In the comments, if you're excited for RB1, tell me why.
Bitmon.
Yes, we have rabbits, we have Jellymons, and Gamamons.
And what's the black card? We got the promo Espimon.
Oh, Espimon.
There's another Espimon's level 4.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Hover Espimon.
Espimon. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I guess I'm excited just because I want to open some more cards.
Yeah, true. I mean, you get that itch every now and then.
That's why I'm like, I'll find like Lorcana cards and I'll be like, oh, ooh, shiny new cards. Well, yeah, I haven't done this with Digimon in a long time.
Yeah, true.
And I don't know. It's going to be interesting to open RB and actually am I excited about the old cards or not?
Foil Salamons, foil ADP.
Biggest controversy though.
No foil blinding rays.
Or is there? Because there was a post.
Oh, there is?
There was a post made by Digimon Official in the same by the same account that posted the tournament results. And it posted previews of RB1 cards. And one of them was Blinding Ray. And everyone in the comments blew it up and said, hey, this isn't on your official list on the Bandai website. Are we getting it or not? And as far as I saw, it was radio silence.
The angel in me wants foil blinding rays because they're foiled and nice. And the devil in me bought pre-release stamped blinding rays.
Old school pre-release.
So I don't, they're not foiled. They just have the gold lettering on them. But I don't know. We'll see.
So much gold, yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm very curious to see how well received RB1 is. Well, is it going to hit retail stores? Like, is it like the EX set doesn't have blister packs,
right?
Not to mention BT13. I don't know if you guys live in the Pacific Northwest, but blister packs for BT13.
I haven't seen them.
I have 16, and that's it. That's all I've seen. I saw, and it was right at launch.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any new cards hit or any new packs hit the shelves, and neither has anybody in our area.
I think the interesting thing about RB1 is there are a lot of decks that are gate kept by price, which is not a huge problem in Digimon as far as I am concerned.
I agree.
Because it's like, okay, what's like the really expensive staples? Like, well, in this set, it's like the Omnimon deck. Like, you need 6 secret rares.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it just came out, so a little pricey. But decks like Security Control needs 4 Magna Angemons. It needs PKs from BT1.
Yeah.
It needs Salamons from BT whatever. It needs Upamons from BT3. So there's a lot of cards that if you started playing in BT10, you either bought from someone or you bought on TCG Player, and it's like, well, that's not so cheap. Omnimon's Wart, Defeat, stuff like that. It's or like even Red Ties. Like, don't have Red Ties because it's an old card.
It's an old card, yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see if RB1 entices some players to some of those like evergreen strategies that are built around BT1 or BT2.
Yeah, I think the biggest gate kept as far as price goes is like Ulforce, but that's not even like a top deck in the format.
And it's not getting reprinted.
Yeah, it's not getting reprinted. I think the Rena might be on. No, is it? Is the Rena on the list? The OG Rena?
The old Rena?
I think it's in the. I think it might be in the list.
It's an event pack 4. I know
it is an event pack 4. It's also very hard to use in the deck.
Yeah, it's also not very good.
It's there. I mean, if you want to use it, you can get that 1 DP, and it's extra search.
Yeah.
It's also you can search level 3s with it, which not a lot of things in that deck search the 3s. You have to be V drum on, but yeah, I don't know. This RB1 thing kind of confuses me. because I don't know how well received. I don't even know how much product I'm going to buy. I think I'm going to buy like a box and see how I feel about it, and then maybe just buy singles. I know we usually do like box openings, but how boring of a case opening would that be?
Ooh,
like
it's Weedmon.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't know.
I pulled 12 HPDs.
Yeah, right.
Cool.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested.
A lot of those cards have alt arts that look better and are also foiled. So,
except that I know. Shout outs to Joe if you're watching this. We were debating Blossomon, the Tamer pack Blossomon, the alt art versus the foil regular art, which is better.
Yeah.
The foil regular art might be better.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the foil.
A lot of banned cards in there. Not
restricted cards. Yeah, there's a lot of restricted cards in it. So
go figure.
I don't know. And it's the Ghost Rare too. It's the series
Proximamon.
Proximamon. Right? Yeah. It's the level 7.
Yeah.
But it also has a kind of a faux, just like the last set. You had those 4 Ghost Rare cards, but their value's dropping like crazy right now.
Yeah, true.
So it'll be interesting to see if that won. I think that's probably played less than a lot of those burst modes, so I don't think that's going to be an expensive Ghost Rare.
Gamamon hype, but I'm not seeing hardly any hype for. I don't even know what the Jellymon level 6 is called, but
it's the
Bitmon. I'm the only one I know that's excited about that card. And Richard, shoutouts to Richard.
Yeah, so we'll get some green rabbit shenanigans. We'll definitely get some competitive, quote unquote, competitive deck profiles, because they are new decks in the format, and we do want to represent essentially almost every deck we can in the format. So we do have that. We got some more deck profiles filmed, so you guys probably just checked out Lord Knight. That one should be posted by now. That was a fun one to build. I know I've been kind of teasing it for a while.
Yeah.
And then we have a fun one from you that's going to drop on Monday. Yeah.
That's a secret.
That is a secret. And then, we got some fun ones. But you're playing in another Ultimate Cup this weekend, right?
Yeah, we got another. This is an Ultimate Cup I wasn't even signed up for, but I checked the Discord for it, and not capped. It wasn't capped on. This was last week.
Oh, okay.
And so I just registered for it literally last week. I was like, yeah, I'm a little bit salty about my last performance, so I want another go. And this time it's Tuesday at the date of recording, and I've already decided between 2 decks.
Okay.
So it's either going to be Yellow Hybrid or War Gray.
Oh, okay.
And just a couple of things I'm tweaking. My philosophy with deck building has always been I've always gravitated towards decks that don't have a lot of flex spots.
Yeah.
So like Bloom Lord doesn't have a lot of flex spots. Crossheart, at least in my strategy, was very 4-of reliant with a couple of flex spots.
Yeah.
The only thing I really did that really got into that very wild deck building style was Machine Dramon.
Yeah.
You needed those different level 5s. But the Yellow Hybrid list has a lot of flexibility in the cards that I can play. We'll talk about a regional or a Ultimate Cup result in a little bit later, and there was one before. So I think the deck's really strong, and so I'm heavily considering it. But yeah,
a lot of variation.
Yeah, a lot of variation. So
are we sick of this Ultimate Cup rule set yet?
Well,
do you think it's time for them to switch it up?
Bandai, there's a lot of people that are like, Digimon is dying and Bandai is terrible and etc. And it's like, Bandai is slowly fixing all of the problems that it has with its competitive scene, I think.
Yeah.
Pricing is improving. The regionals are not just all online anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Nationals is open invite. People who have an invite get a bye in their first 2 rounds. These are all good things, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only presume they're going to hear people are sick of the monocolor Ultimate Cup format, because if you have gotten top 16 at a regional, there's not a lot of reason to enter a regional again.
Right.
Because the pricing is still the same. The only thing you get is more event pack cards, which is nice. But if you enter an Ultimate Cup, can try to get that Growlmon Ultimate Cup stamp line.
Yeah.
And so people are like, well, I guess I'll enter Ultimate Cup. But a lot of people's favorite decks are not playable in Ultimate Cup. This is Hunters, Crossheart, Royal Knights,
Machine
Dramon, stuff like this. And like, I think the utilization of Ultimate Cup as sort of a suspect test for cards, chaos degrade, and they ended like the Were-Garurumon and the Grand Quagamon. They ended up banning after testing it in Ultimate Cup.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. Like, I think that is a good idea, but the format now has been pretty stale, I feel. So changing the Ultimate Cup might be on the horizon.
Yeah. I know I've seen a lot of, chatter online about, is it time to change? Will it change? Maybe they'll just run these rules and through the end of the year and just finish it up that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. We got that Big Bad Regional coming up, and I know that there's already some planning going on for Nats.
Yeah, we're gonna get some Airbnbs going, and
yeah, that's gonna be a big nerd fest. So
we're all gonna be top tables.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Do you see any difference in because you've played in regionals before online? Do you foresee any? What's the biggest difference you foresee in face-to-face versus the online ones? Other than less cheating.
Well, yeah, I luckily have not experienced cheating online to my knowledge.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest difference is going to be whoever shows up, because I think a lot of people that enter online tournaments, that's like a comfort space for them. Maybe they don't even go to like their local scene. They just play in webcam tournaments all day long.
Yeah.
And so I know we love the local scene, love going to shops and playing. So I think it'll be a lot more people are more comfortable in that setting compared to the webcam. So I think that's gonna be the biggest difference.
Makes sense. Yeah, I'm. This will be my first regionals, and so I'm excited to see how many people of like mind are in the same room.
Yeah,
it'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, 512. It capped. So
it's gonna be. It's already full.
Yeah, it's gonna be 512 Sweaty Digimon players. So we'll see what that looks like. I
think our plan is to go down on Friday and come back on Monday.
Yeah.
I think that might be the plan. Get a couple good days of testing wherever we're at, and just nerd out for a little bit. It'll be fun. It'll be an interesting trip. We're gonna try and I'm gonna try and bring some cameras to vlog some stuff and get some good stuff for the channel. Considering there's a huge amount of our local scene going down there, the big Wayward City crew. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. Ooh. And then Nats. I mean, that's next year, but that's gonna be another big thing. When does that registration open up? That's later, right?
That'll be later, yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be a big one as far as, because they haven't even announced the pricing for it yet. So we'll see what the Nats pricing is this year. What
more of those metal cards?
No more Doragoro cards. No Doragoromon cards. But yeah, give us some good ones. But so let's get into some results, because we do have one
Latin
America. Ultimate Cup.
Yeah,
So you brought this one up today because I was at work. I was like, we don't have any tournament results.
Oh, but it literally dropped today. Belfamon took it.
So we talked about it a couple weeks ago when Mirage was just running things over. Are we done with that now?
I think
because we had one North American where it ran things over, and then last week we had a Oceania where it ran things over.
Now here we're seeing not a single blue Mirage in the top 4. It's pretty interesting. I think that's probably why we're seeing Belfamon win. I think the Mirage matchup is pretty good because they swing scatter mode and hit the Tamer, hit a boost, hit an Ice Wall, hit whatever, or one of your rookies. Then you next turn go into Mock Galgamon and bounce it. It really sets them behind. The advantage Belfamon has in the matchup is they can pitch a lot of their hand, so they're not going to have huge hand size for your effects. But this list in particular, I've got to talk about Keenan Crier.
Yeah.
The EX4 Keenan. So this is
when you play a Digimon by effect, right?
When an effect plays a Digimon.
Yeah.
Suspend the Tamer to gain one. So that's when you have the Astamon in sources. For your opponent's turn. So they swing, pitch, Nidhogg's, play out a level 4, suspend Keenan. You could gain 3 memory on their turn. There
was a person in Discord that shot me their list for their version, because remember my security Digimon list? It was their version, and they play this, and I was like, that's genius.
Yeah, Keenan with the security Digimon. So it's a pretty interesting strategy. But other than that, pretty much a standard Belfamon list.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. Let's jump into the next one. Oh, I will notice like only 2 Nidhogg's, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think you could go. They instead of more on the Nidhogg's, they did opt for 2 Underworld's Call, which I think is sort of a similar effect, but rather getting cards rather than getting memory.
Yeah. And if you haven't checked out Jacob's Belfamon video, check that one out because he plays the security at Mons, which I've seen do a lot of work in this deck because it plays out those protos.
It plays out your gizmos, and it can play out Floodgate or Phascomon.
Yep.
Get yourself going.
Very good. All right. Number 2, here's that yellow hybrids list we were talking about.
Yeah, yellow hybrid. I think this deck is so awesome, this format, just for one reason in particular, and that's Venusmon.
Yeah.
Venusmon is brutal, this format.
That and TK is the only consistent cards in the deck, essentially.
Yeah, TK. Otherwise, a lot of flex spots. Obviously, you're playing the hybrids. Only 3 on the Zephyrmon because we're not running the Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty interesting. 1 Lonk. No, and this is similar as to the other list. Is they weren't playing reinforcing boost. I just simply cannot agree.
Cannot agree.
If you have 13 Tamers, you might as well play reinforcing boost. Put 1 Tamer on top. Put a rookie in your hand. It seems good to me. I don't know.
Yep.
But yeah, and then shout outs to Kentorosmon.
Look at that.
With the Odin's Breath technology.
But just the one of, like, how often does that actually come up? I mean,
well,
because you are playing the Kudamon, so you can search.
Yeah, a lot. Everything here is a vaccine besides your hybrids.
And Venusmon.
No, Venusmon's vaccine.
Is she really?
Yellow vaccine support
I thought she was
on
data.
the way.
You're right.
Ooh, Rapidmon might not be. Oh, he is.
He is, yeah. He's the only armor form that is, as far as I know.
There you have it. So, Kudamon's really strong in this list.
Searching Shine Gray, too, is really strong.
Yeah, Ruin Mode's a vaccine.
Yep.
Yeah. Great list.
Very good. All right, what's next?
War Gray.
This is a spicy list, though.
It is.
A spicy War Gray list.
So I tried out the War Gray Dorbrick Ragnalord thing when it first got popular. I think it did well in like a European regional or something, or European Ultimate Cup. I was like, that's awesome because I love Ragnalordmon, like the Legend Arms deck. But they put it in this deck and it's a little bit stronger. But I found when playing it, it gets really clunky, especially in BT12, because the BT12 Metal Gray only evos on a black level 4.
Yeah.
Or a Greymon. So if you have too many Flame Dramons, it's not really an emergency level 4. It's basically like an option card.
Yeah.
If you think about it. But what I like about this list is they went to 1, 1, and 1. 1 Flame Dramon, 1 Dobrik, and 1 Ragnalord. So it's not really like building a deck around that combo.
It's a side strategy.
It's just like if you happen to have this 3-card combo,
you win.
You win the game. And so it clogs up the deck a little bit less. More room for 2 Hades Force, 3 boost, a couple more rookies, a couple more level 4s.
And just talk about it. I mean, Hades Force is so strong in this format. I mean, just being able to just wipe your entire opponent's board of Tamers is pretty intense.
Yeah, if you can Black War Gray and then Hades Force the next turn, that's a lot of dead Thomases.
Yeah. All right, and then number 4.
We gotta talk about it. D Reaper.
When you told me about this, I was just like, "There's
no way." Well, there's only 2 things to talk about here. The first is that it is a meta answer to Belfamon and Mirage.
Yep.
And the second thing is they're playing Manoa because it's a white memory setter.
Yeah, and solely for that reason.
Yeah.
No, it's very, very, very interesting.
Well,
the route that they went here.
One thing I've been thinking a lot about in terms of tournament play is how to maximize consistency while still having high win potential. And it doesn't get a lot more consistent than 20 searchers.
Yeah.
The only other thing to note of this list is the 1 Optimizer. That's a terrible card, and that should be either 1 more creep hands or 1 Pilates head.
Okay. Yeah.
Optimizer's horrible.
And if you guys have been playing for a while and you've been through EX2?
EX2, yeah.
Yeah. The reason that D Reaper kind of, not I won't say went away, but just wasn't popular is because Black War Gray was like the man on the scene and it could just swing at and over your Reaper
Yeah.
whenever it wanted to. Now that you're not seeing that, like Shine can't destroy a D Reaper or a Mother.
Yeah.
You can't kill a Mother because it can't be DP reduced. It's not affected by effects. So
yeah.
Unless you're raid, you could raid.
Yeah, so the
you could
raid
into it.
Greymon we saw on the other list.
Yeah, so you can raid into it, but nobody's playing Jessmon, at least not an Ultimate Cup, so you don't got to worry about, because Jessmon X will let you swing it unsuspended.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that in Ultimate Cup. So yeah, no,
We
it's
do
really
know
smart.
that people are playing Gallantmon.
Gallantmon.
And then the raid Wargrave, but other than that, you got a free ride all the way to top 4.
Yeah, and it's an Hourglass deck, just kind of like Royal Knights.
Yeah.
It's just all you're doing is just getting
it's
it
turn
ready.
5. It's time to go.
Time to go. But yeah, that
was
a cool Ultimate
results.
Cup. That's I mean, if you're talking, everyone was hitting that panic button when
the Mirage panic button
took all 4 in 2 tournaments, and everyone
Yeah.
was like, ban. Everyone's just
Everybody
let's
relax.
Let's wait a week. Let's see what the rest of these are. I think it was just kind of a coincidence. I mean, Mirage is obviously very strong, and I guarantee you a bunch of people played Mirage in this Ultimate Cup
for sure.
Doesn't always win. Nothing. I think there's an out for almost every deck. It's just what decks have the least amount of outs.
Yeah,
is
true.
gonna be top dog. But we had a tough time figuring out what we were gonna pull for this week's episode, because there's been so much in the last week.
Yeah, it feels like it was like not just like here's a level 3 and a level 4, and that's the reveal for today. It felt like we were getting like 4 cards a day for like the past week.
It's been borderline overwhelming as far as like what do we want to put, because we could talk about every card, but we'd be here for 2 hours.
It'd be a 2-hour episode.
So we're not.
Let us know in the comments if you want a 2-hour episode.
So we're gonna get to Dark Masters. That's where I want to, because we've kind of left those out of our reveals because we hadn't had that final piece, but now we have Apocalymon. So
let's talk about it.
Well, let's do Dark Masters last, because I want to talk about that one for a while.
Sure.
So we're gonna talk about the other cards that really excited us in these reveals. So we're not gonna go through everyone, because every level 6 has a level 5. Has other cards, but we went over Machine last week.
We did talk about Machine because we love Machine.
We do love Machine, yeah.
We got the other ones as well.
We also love this new black egg, because it could be the new best egg in black.
Yeah, it's like I kind of talked about how blue got Wanyamon, and it's pretty much like, okay, I'll just default to Wanyamon. It's my best draw egg. Yeah. This might be the new draw egg in black, because
Agumon, you have to die.
Agumon, you have to die, and it's a maybe. It's a conditional draw.
Yeah, you only get it if it's a black.
Dorimon you can only use in specific strategies.
Yeah.
But this says when a Digimon becomes unsuspended, draw one.
Yep.
So that's for your opponent playing green or blue.
Yeah.
That's for you playing Reboot.
Yeah.
That's for a lot of things is going to be proccing this.
Yeah.
And especially if you're in a deck that is like a big defensive deck like Black likes to be, you could proc this egg every turn.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you just let them unsuspend. At the beginning of their turn, you're getting an extra card.
Yeah.
So you're essentially getting 2 cards per turn. Because you could pair this with the Toyagu too.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you wanted to, and get a ton of draw engine in black, which you previously
impossible.
So it's and it's an X antibody, which might be important later on for having that for inheritables. Maybe we'll see. But very interesting card.
Yeah.
And then let's just get your Rosemon stuff out of the way. I know, big sad. You're not excited about this.
Listen to me, everyone. Nobody loves green more than me. Nobody. But man, these cards hurt me deep. So they're all memorized and burned into my head at this point.
Okay.
And here's the problem with Palmon. We'll talk about Palmon X first.
Okay.
Its effect is great. It suspends something. We were talking about, you pair it with the SR Palmon, give it Ice Wall, X antibody, gain 2 memory. It's a free 2 memory. And it's like, that is all well and good and terrific and great. But if we're playing Palmon X, now we don't really want to play EX3 Pomumon.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really want to play Floodgate Pomumon. We don't really want to play Memory Blocker Terriermon. Like, okay.
There's only so much room in the deck.
Yeah, right. Like, the rookies in green were never really the problem. The rookies are very strong. Okay, yeah. We get Togemon X antibody. Yeah, the BT14 Togemon's really good. What else?
Yeah.
You know, like, now we don't get to play Red Veggie. We don't get to play Sunflowmon. Okay. Then we get Lilymon X antibody. We finally got a good level 5 fairy. It's Lilamon. It's not Lilymon. So it doesn't go over the Yoshino player. And then you look at other Lilymons and it's like, oh man, these aren't very good. And then the biggest punch of them all, they give us Rosemon X antibody.
Yeah.
We can't play Yoshinos for free because we don't get to play Lilamon. And Rosemon Burst Mode can't burst on a Rosemon X antibody.
Oh,
it has to be specifically Rosemon.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, man, it's so anti-synergistic with itself. And
that's interesting. Yeah.
Like,
I didn't think about that. You got to be a green player to
yeah,
know
this is just the struggles of green, and I'm gonna build this deck in BT15
and figure it out.
But
you just don't know how
at a glance, I saw all these problems rather than all these solutions.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
That's my rant for today.
We'll see how strong that is, especially since you're going to be going up against Leviamon.
Oh yeah,
because we got the X antibody today, but we did want to kind of go back, take one step back, and because we were like, oh, that's an insane card. What does Leviamon do again? Because we don't get EX5 until next year, right?
Right.
So
EX5 is before BT15.
Yes.
In the release order.
So we wanted to see what that synergy is. So let's go back and we'll just remind people what Leviamon does. Leviamon is Security Tech +1.
Security A +1.
Security A, I'm sorry. Yeah, updated. On play when digivolving, if your opponent has equal or more Digimon and Tamers in play than you, delete one of your opponents with the highest level. Then delete one of your opponents with the lowest level. So already you're talking...
Yeah. This is it's a 5 to Evo, kill 2 things.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Before you even get to the second part of it.
Yeah.
All turns when one of your opponents is deleted, gain 1 memory for each Digimon deleted.
Yeah, so now it's a 3 to Evo, kill 2 things, Security Tech +1, 13k Digimon. Okay, great.
This is also, if you think about it, it's just all turns. It's not once per turn. So all of your kill spells cost less.
Whoa.
When
when they swing into security and die, gain a memory.
When your opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain 1 memory.
Not once per turn.
Not once per turn.
I didn't even see that.
So you can Schwartz kill like 10 things for cheap. You could net memory off kill spells if you kill enough things. You know? Isn't that wild? So that's old news. That's EX5.
Yeah, that's EX5.
That's EX5. So now
then what happened?
So also in EX5 they gave an option, right? We got a really good option. We got the God, what is it called? It's called Rostrum. Yeah. So by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon. If a card with the 7 Great Demon Lords trait, which is also
Paimon
and the X
antibody,
place this card into your battle area. So it's delay. You can, when an opponent's Digimon is played by an effect, you can use the delay. You may play 1 Leviamon from your trash. So that amazing card you can play for free.
Yeah, it's I don't know if anyone ever expected an 8-cost delay option. Pretty interesting because what do we have? Like most expensive one is reinforcing boost, which costs 6.
6, yeah.
Pride boost costs 4.
Yeah.
All the memory boosts and other things like that are 3.
Trainings are 2.
So is Master Disciple.
Yeah.
Here's an 8 cost with a delay effect. Pretty interesting.
Too bad they didn't make it a 7-cost option.
Oh man, I think they knew what they were doing when they did that.
So now let's talk about the new one. Let's talk about
Leviamon X antibody,
which I don't think anybody really predicted was going to be coming in this set. I mean, I'm sure there were some people in Discord that probably had an idea, some lore followers, but this is not what I expected to see.
No, it has a trash effect just like the Chaos Gallantmon from EX4.
Yep.
But it's a good trash effect.
It is.
When they play a Tamer or Digimon by an effect, one of our Leviamon or Digimon with X antibody digivolves into this from the trash for free. So the question that I had instantly was, do they just need to have the X antibody option and then you warp?
At like a level 3? It doesn't say without, where it doesn't say ignoring Digivolution requirements.
Yeah, so that was the first thing I had.
I don't know. So you Digimon judges out there.
Yeah.
This might also be kind of I don't want to say mistranslation, but a translation that hasn't been completed yet. Yeah. Because that would be wild. If you had a level 3 on
level
board.
3 with the X antibody, Leviamon.
Yeah.
And then when you Digivolve, if your opponent has as many or more Tamers or Digimon, delete a Tamer and then a 3, 5, and 7
level Digimon.
Level Digimon. So we were people are theorizing, oh, it's an anti-Lucemon card.
Yeah, because Lucy's are 3, 5, and 7.
Lucemon are 3, 5, and then we're eventually going to get that level 7, that Demon Lord mode.
Yeah. Shout out to the lore masters in Discord, because I didn't pick that one up, so thank you guys.
Yeah, true.
But very cool. So,
and then I forgot to mention, it's also security A+2.
Yeah, so it's
on a 14K Digimon,
which we haven't seen since Susanomon.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Has there been another? I'm trying to think of another security tech +2. One of the Shoutmons?
Secret rare metal gray. And when attacking, lose 7 or whatever. Yeah.
No, but so this is going to be a wild deck. I can't wait. This actually kind of makes me want to play purple. I'm not going to lie. And I'm not a huge purple player.
If you understand Jesse, you know how weird that is for him to say.
We're also getting that new Anubismon, which we already covered, but which was one of my favorite cards in purple. But Tamer Hate in purple. I'm very excited for this because Wart Defeat can go on top of this and kill another Tamer if you really wanted to. So Tamer Hate is real.
It's not level 7. It's level
7. And I'm excited for this because so many fun things to do in purple. And I mean, come on, look at this regular art.
Yeah, it's a beautiful card.
That's the regular. Can you imagine what the alt's going to be? It's going to be absolutely insane. So, but we had to talk about the Leviamon stuff. So now we can
the moment you've all been waiting for.
So let's dig in. Oh no, we still have your Numamon X that you wanted to talk about.
Well, the thing I wanted to say about Numamon,
it'll be a short.
Is this Numamon and Sukamon and etc. has gotten more support than Greymon has in the last 4 sets.
Certainly more than Diaboromon.
It's the most supported tribe in the entire card game. Eventually, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And so
there's so many cards for it.
There's so many cards for it. Like it used to be, okay, I'm going to build a Sukamon deck. Every card that is surrounded by Sukamon is a 4 of, and you still have 10 slots
if
open.
It's Suka, Etta, or Numa, you just put it, it just goes in the deck.
So now it's like there's going to be actual a deck building strategy around it.
Yeah, no, they're going to start to break off into their own little, because the Edamons play other Edamons, so you kind of break off. And then it's also
tangential to the D-Police stuff,
which we still don't know how all that's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different routes, but
All right, Dark Masters.
Enough goofing around.
Well, let's just start with Apocalymon, because that's the piece we were missing.
Sure.
So this is the new level 7. I love the 4 color wheel. That's super cool.
Yeah, I didn't notice that at first, but I don't know if any other Digimon digivolves on 4 colors. I know Quartzmon
specifically.
Quartzmon goes on white, black, and green.
Yeah,
and then I don't think there's a one that does more than that.
Other than Rainbow, Susanoo.
Chimeramon or Susanoo.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
So, so when this card would be played, by placing up to 3 cards from Dark Masters, from your battle area, or trash under this card. So it's kind of like Machine Dramon, kind of in that way. So the question is, I guess we'll finish it off. So, so you can play it for 3. Really good. So you need them in trash to play it. Question is, or you can digivolve it.
Or battle area.
Or battle area. So you can digivolve with it. You can, which you know that all the new Dark Masters can only digivolve essentially into this.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other white Digimon you can digivolve into, but specifically it's good for this.
Yeah.
End of turn, by placing 1 level 6 or lower card from your trash so it keeps growing. Activate one of the on-play effects of the card placed by this. So it's kind of like the Jesmon GX, where you get to kind of activate one of their on-plays, not when digivolving, but then for each level 6, trash top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. So
your opponent's
securities.
Deck.
Oh, deck. Yeah.
Deck. So it's and that the good news is, I think this isn't going to be like a gimmick deck. I think it's going to be. I thought the same thing about the Royal Knights deck. I was like, this isn't actually going to be that good. It's just going to be like a weird, gimmicky, kind of like an EX deck almost.
Yeah.
And then it turned out to be strong. I think this is going to be in a similar vein.
Yeah.
Where it's like, damn, this is actually pretty strong. That's the good news. The bad news is it's a purple deck. Because you need to have stuff in trash. And it's like, damn, it's Gabumon and Eismon and get all the things in trash. And then hard play your Apocalymon and then mill your opponent out.
I'm curious to see if, like, because, I mean, it happened with Royal Knights, where we've obviously done a bunch of deck profiles on the channel. Check them out if you haven't seen them. But we took that Royal Knights deck and we broke it apart into different veins, you know? And I think that will be possible with this, too, because all of the level 6s that go into Apocalymon have a line underneath them that helps them with the Dark Master stuff, too, specifically the level 5s.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how people build this deck with all those support pieces, but they're all in different colors, and they only digivolve, as far as I know, on their own color.
Yeah.
The level 5s that support the 6s. So it's going to be interesting to see if people just pick the when digivolving line, you know, or way.
Well,
or if they want to play it the zoo style and trash a bunch and just to hard play it for 3.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about it is a lot of, or I think actually all of them say end of your opponent's turn, trash this Digimon, then play a Dark Master's trait that isn't this.
Yeah, let's just go to what's the first one we got here? Machine. Yeah, so on play when attacking, digivolve 2. Okay. Your turn, this Digimon can only go into the...
they all have that 2 pieces of text. It can only digivolve into white and delete this Digimon and then play a Dark Master's that isn't itself.
So on play when attacking. So obviously you're not playing this for 11. There's mechanics to just play it for free. So the question is how do you get started? You know, I think you have to digivolve up to your first 6. And then you do all the end of turn, play another one kind of, you know what I mean?
Yes.
The shenanigans. Because you don't want to just drop this for 11 because you're not going to be able to
I don't
do
think so.
much.
I think. And then eventually you have an Apocalymon that has piercing, reboot, retaliation, and blocker.
Just all the keywords.
Yeah.
Because the Metal Seedramon, oh, look at that one next. So that one bounces. So every piece does what their color do.
Yeah.
But they all add to the Apocalymons because you get that on play when you tuck, right? Isn't that how that works?
You get to pick the on play.
Yeah, you get to pick the on play, yeah. So that could make it very toolboxy for a lot of decks. And then, you know, Metal Seedramon, they're all the same as far as, like, they just have that the top part is different. Everything else can only digivolve and then pay something other than itself.
Yeah, Piedmon deletes an unsuspended. That's classic purple.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if people are going to like that because nobody liked Trump Sword because Trump Sword's so conditional. Are people really going to like this?
Yeah, Trump Sword, man. But
like, do you need retaliation when you're 15K?
Well, if you're a retail blocker and you're 15K and they're swinging with, I don't even know what, something huge.
Yeah, but everything huge usually has protection from this kind of, you know, like, say Black or Gray, right? Who cares? Retaliation,
true.
Cool. I'll strip too. Sweet. But yeah, I don't know if I think Piedmon's probably the weakest one out of all these. I mean, delete one of your opponents unsuspended. I mean, I guess that'll kill a blocker if there's something hanging out. But I don't know. I'm just old player and I have Trump Sword PTSD.
Trump Sword
just hitting that insecurity. Oh, I'm sorry. Everything's suspended because I swung.
Right. Well, and then that made me think of the Puppetmon, which
Puppetmon's great.
Yeah, bottom decks is suspended Digimon. So they swung with their whatever, and then Bink goes to the bot. It doesn't specify level, so it could be a Death X. It could be,
and I think inherently bot decking is still stronger in this game than deletion because there's way less protection for it still. Because there's been protection from deletion from like early on in the game. They didn't stop bot decking and stuff until like I think the BT5 Blitz Omni I think protects from it. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, it took them a while to get that, like, add it to the addendum to if it would be deleted or returned to hand or deck.
Yeah, I think this deck it's gonna be another deck building challenge that people will figure out, of course. Yeah. But it's going to be picking and choosing what line to go up into, what suits it the best. And then it's going to be also I think the piece that we're missing right now is like Purge of the Royal Knights type option for this deck. So probably, you know, a white option that says if you have a Dark Masters or something, ignore color requirements. Yeah. And then it has some way of turboing you out into these level 6s. Because, like, obviously the on play is for the end of your opponent's turn, delete it and play it and proc the on play. But we don't have a way, that I have seen of getting there. So, yeah. If you have figured it out already, let us know.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting way to play the game, but it's a new way. It's new.
Yeah.
It's fun mechanic. It's kind of zoo-y style. I mean, I think you do. I think you have to build up to the first level 6. I think that's going to
probably
be how the deck works. Or, yeah, you just do the purple turbo and just run the Eismon, the Gabumon, the Demimera, and draw a million, trash a million.
Well, and I think the only other thing I have to say about this deck in particular is it's another deck that you need 4 secret rares at least.
Yes.
So
yeah,
we'll see.
It'll be another spendy one right out of the gate, especially for people that are Dark Masters fans. I mean, it's always interesting to see, there's these theme decks that people have been waiting for so long. Like Diaboromon's going to be a big one. Like, I think once they release the support for that, it's going to be the same as like the Dark Masters fans. Like, if this is your favorite group of Digimon growing up, or this whatever show this came from, or game this came from.
This is like the old stuff, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, and I know a lot of people have been calling for Piedmons and Puppetmons since like BT2. It's obviously we've gotten more machines throughout the years.
Yeah.
And the Metal Seadramon stuff is kind of suspect.
Fallen by the wayside.
Yeah. Because we haven't had a Metal Seadramon since BT whatever.
It was before
the first couple boxes. It's either in 1, 2, or 3, and it was terrible then. Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be great now. They just made Aegistramon, which is just a better version of it.
Yeah, true.
Well, it's a level 7. But anyways, yeah. So really fun reveals this week. And if you guys go back and go through your Discord or whatever, there's a bunch of other reveals. There's like a Gomamon X, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, there's X antibody lines for a lot of stuff.
Gomamon with chest hair. Pretty cool.
Did he have chest hair?
There you go. Red chest hair. It's pretty cool. But there's Gomamon X stuff. I think there's a lot of rookies and a lot of X antibody lines that hit. Yeah. But like I said, we'd be here all night if we. Yeah,
there's more red birds I saw.
There's a lot of red birds. I was leaving those for Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff will go over those next week. He's the one that's excited about red birds.
Yeah, true.
But regardless, man, you did some locals. We had locals last week. You got some good card of the weeks.
I do. I'll go first.
Okay.
We had, as I said, we're kind of, besides the Ultimate Cups, we're kind of full steam ahead into the Pasadena Regional.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are playing on webcam, and they're trying a little bit more meta decks at locals and stuff like that. So the top of my list has been Shine Greymon, because unless something in that deck is restricted before November, I think it'll still be the #1 deck in the format. And I think the Shine Greymon strategy, its biggest weakness is consistency. And so in trying to make the deck consistent, you have a number of different options. And I think the best one I've found in yellow specifically has been the original TK Memory Setter.
Oldie but a goodie. Yeah.
It's an oldie but a goodie. It gives you a little bit of early access to your security, so you can sort of better plan ahead on how to proceed.
Knowing if Marcuses are in your security
so
is
it's
huge.
Sort of like we were talking about, well, the Geo Greymon from BT13 is only good if there's a Tamer in your security. Like, well, that's true, but if you turn 1 Agumon TK, you see at least one Marcus, then you can feel confident in promoting the Agumon and then going into the Geogray.
Yeah.
If you don't see that, then you know to stay in the raising, and then you can Geogray in the raising and stay a little bit safer. But I think TK has been one of the biggest contributors to my success on that deck, just as a major boost to your.
Yeah. I'm up.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, mine's a common one, but not for the reason you think. So. Mine is BT8 Black War Gray.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you said, so just a crazy reveal, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to play Security Control at Regionals. Specifically a version of the Black-Yellow Security Control that I have on the channel. But I've been tweaking it. I've been testing the hell out of it. I'm trying everything under the sun, seeing what I like, what I don't like.
The amount of cards that he has tried and sent me, like, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And you're like, that? Really? You're like, well... But anyway.
Yeah, so I tried changing up because the Shadow Seraphis don't go. They stay because it's very strong in the format.
Card.
Very strong in the format. So there's the two slot that I have for another level 6. And
I think the original was Baihuman.
The original is Baihuman, which is strong. It's kind of aggro-based, kind of trash some security. It potentially get a Digivolve for cheap. It's good, But I tried to go the like purple-yellow route and tried to change the top end. Instead of all omnis, it's just the defeats, and then I was going to play the ruin mode because it's really strong in the format. But I ran into some trouble with just big stack decks. Like Black War Gray is still a problem. Very big problem for me. It's not specifically because of the Black War Gray, but because of the Yuya.
Right.
Also having troubles with red hybrids because of the Aldemon. So I decided that I want to go Tamer Hate heavy in this format. Super Tamer Hate heavy. And luckily I was already running the 4 Zor defeats, so I already had that covered. The Altar Bees are amazing, so I put those back in. Cheyenne Ruins came out because they're great. It's a great card.
It's more black than purple.
Yeah. So it's a great card, but I think the Altar Bees, I found myself having, like, they would do what I want the defeats to do, come out of security, and then I'd have Shine Gray Ruin modes in hand instead of an Altar Bee,
right.
which is another black source for 2, and it can pop a giant stack, and when it swings, it trashes, kills Tamers. Like, it's just... So Black War Gray, BT8, being able to Digivolve for 4 onto a Wisemon, become a blocker, kill potentially 3 Tamers, and usually 2.
As well, a double blocker for the red hybrid deck.
Yes.
Because when it blocks and deletes like a Burning Greymon or something.
Yes. I also found it really good in security control because you could swing, get your check. You're on top of... You have to be on top of the Wisemon, right? So then you can kill spell, and then he'll reboot, essentially reboot.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of versatility with that, but being able to... you know, kill 2 Tamers, defeat on top of that if you want to, kill another Tamer, Alter be on top of that, swing, kill 2 more Tamers.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of...
Goodbye, Marcus.
Goodbye, Marcus. Goodbye,
Thomas.
Takuya,
gone.
Yuya's. Like, I
gone.
want to kill them all. Kill all the Tamers in this. Tamer hate is huge in this format.
Agreed.
So, and I found that, you know, with DG Dimensions and stuff, I had kind of the wide board covered. So Shine Gray Ruin wasn't necessarily where it needs to be in that format or in that deck. So yeah, so that's it, man. I'm really enjoying the Black War Gray. And it was an idea that came from the original deck builder too. So, and it was just something I just never really got into trying because I wanted to try and do something crazy different.
Yeah.
And just I wanted the consistency with trying to get something that can go on all of my level 6s, but I realized it's not that necessary.
Yeah.
So
we're back.
Yes, we're back. We're back to Black Heavy. So I will. It'll probably be on like once I finally get the deck tuned to where I want it for specifically ultimate or for regionals. I will 100%. Probably film another update, or we'll just talk about it on T3.
I feel we all will put our lists up maybe sometime close to the regional.
Yeah, but we still have a couple months to test.
Yeah,
so.
It's November. It's the middle of November. So
sorry, everybody at locals, but I will be playing the hell out of security control because I need to see it against literally everything.
True.
So, and I think you're probably going to be doing the same.
People will be like, "Oh, Shine Gray again."
It's sweaty competitive time. You know,
it's time to win.
It's time. Yeah, we want to go down there and we want to do the best kind of showing we can for our group. So, that's gonna, I think, wrap it up for this week. Jeff will be back next week, so it'll be great to see him. And thanks for coming, man.
Of course.
Thanks for sitting in the chair and talking nerd talk. And
thanks for having me.
Yeah. As always, like, comment, subscribe. We are on the cusp of 1900. So, and then it's the road to 2000. So, please, if you haven't subbed yet, do that and come hang out in Discord. I got my webcam set up. I'm playing a little bit more.
Oh yeah,
I know you're testing like crazy, so feel free to jump in. And if you see us at a testing table, don't hesitate to stop in and say hi. Yeah. All right, we'll catch you guys in the next one.